The Galactic Council sat in their ivory towers, looking down on the primitive species known as humanity. To them, Earth was nothing more than an afterthought, a minor world on the outskirts of the galaxy, a planet of stubborn creatures, barely worth acknowledging. When the humans first petitioned the Council for aid against the marauders that plagued their colonies, the response was laughter, cold, dismissive laughter. The Council would not waste their fleets on such an insignificant species. Humanity had nothing to offer, no grand fleets, no planetary strongholds, no ancient technologies worth studying. They were children in a galaxy of giants. In a final act of mockery, the Council granted humanity a shipment of what they called resources. It was not resources, it was junk, scrap metal from decommissioned ships, rusted reactor cores, barely functional engines, power cells, so drained they could barely light a single corridor. The message was clear: you are unworthy, you are weak, take this, refuse. And the grateful Earth's representatives swallowed their pride, accepted the so-called gift, and left without another word. Deep beneath the surface of Mars, in hidden shipyards orbiting Europa, in the darkened halls of lunar research stations, the brightest minds of humanity gathered, staring at the rusted bones of forgotten warships. There was no anger, no despair, only determination. Humanity had always been underestimated, always been told what they could not do. They did not see scrap, they saw opportunity where others saw waste. Humanity saw potential. They did not ask what could be repaired, they asked what could be built. Days turned to weeks, weeks to months. Reverse engineering began. Every system stripped down, analyzed, improved, enhanced. The energy cores that the Council had discarded as unstable were stabilized and modified. They pulsed with power never seen before. Whole fragments from ancient warships were reforged into armor plating stronger than anything humanity had ever created. Every piece of junk, every fragment of refuse was transformed, reshaped, given new purpose. No longer scrap, but the foundation of something greater. The engineers worked in secret. The Council was too arrogant to monitor the progress of a species they deemed insignificant. Humanity did not correct their mistake, did not reveal what they were building. Instead, they listened, they watched, they learned the weaknesses of Council ships, the vulnerabilities of their shields, the limitations of their weapons. Every secret, every flaw dissected and recorded. Humanity was not just building defenses, they were preparing for something far greater. The first test came in the form of another raid. The pirates, who had long seen humanity as easy prey, descended on a remote colony, expecting another effortless plunder. They were met with silence, no distress signals, no pleas for mercy, only the cold dark of space. Then from the void, it came a single ship, built from scrap, but moving like a predator, its hull a patchwork of alien alloys, its engines whispering with stolen secrets, its weapons unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. The pirates laughed at first, then their senses screamed as beams of energy carved through their flagship like it was paper. Panic, chaos, destruction. One by one, the pirate ships fell, torn apart by weapons reverse-engineered from their own stolen technology. Their shields failed, their engines went dark, their distress calls went unanswered. For the first time in history, humanity did not run, did not beg, they hunted, they conquered, they won. When the battle was over, a single message was sent across the stars to the Galactic Council: you gave us scrap, we built the future. Deep beneath the surface of Mars, in the silent halls of Earth's hidden shipyards, humanity's greatest minds worked tirelessly. The Council believed they had humiliated humanity by tossing them junk, but humanity had always thrived on adversity, always turned obstacles into stepping stones. Engineers, scientists, and military strategists gathered around rusted reactor cores, dead starship engines, fractured weapon systems. Where the Council saw garbage, they saw possibilities. Teams worked in shifts, pushing the limits of human endurance, dissecting, stripping, analyzing every component. Nothing was wasted. Every damaged circuit, every shattered alloy plate was repurposed, reforged, reshaped. The power cells that the Council deemed too weak were modified, recharged, combined into a new energy source capable of output beyond standard military requirements. Broken plasma cannons were reverse-engineered, their flaws corrected, their power increased, until they became something the Council itself had never envisioned. Humanity had no legacy of galactic war, no history of spacefaring empires, but they had something stronger: ingenuity, stubbornness, the ability to adapt and overcome. They took technology older than their species and enhanced it, twisted it beyond its original purpose, created something new, something the Council would not be able to recognize until it was too late. Time passed. Rumors spread across the colonies, whispers of strange experiments in deep space test ships, vanishing for weeks, only to return faster, stronger, deadlier. Humanity did not just repair the scrap, they fused it with their own designs, with innovations that no other species had ever dared attempt. They did not just rebuild ships, they created weapons, war machines, unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The breakthrough came when they discovered how to merge human energy weapons with alien shielding. By refining discarded shield cores from Council warships, they crafted a system that absorbed enemy fire, redirected. It turned incoming attacks into fuel for their own weapons. Test after success, humanity had not just caught up with the Council, they had begun to surpass them. In secret hangars, hidden from prying eyes, a first of the new human warships took shape, larger than anything Earth had ever built before, stronger than any Council vessel, a fusion of human resilience and alien technology. Its hull was plated with reforged starship fragments, its reactors pulsed with energy refined from decommissioned Council cores, its weapons designed not just for battle, but for total domination. The first test was a success. A single prototype faced off against 3 old Earth destroyers, its movements precise, its weapons devastating. The old ships never stood a chance. What had once been a collection of discarded parts was now a predator, a reaper of war. Humanity was no longer building defenses, no longer simply trying to survive. They were preparing. They knew the Council would not ignore them, forever knew that their rise would be met with resistance. The first battle with the pirates had been a warning, a test of power, but the real war had yet to begin. In the deepest chambers of the Lunar Command Station, a message was drafted and sent to every human colony, to every scientist, engineer, and soldier. The time has come. Humanity will no longer be the weak, the forgotten, the underestimated. They gave us scrap, and from that scrap, we have forged our destiny. Prepare for what comes next. The Council still ignored humanity, still dismissed them as an insignificant race struggling to survive in the vast expanse of the galaxy. They heard whispers of pirate fleets being annihilated, of scavenged Council technology being repurposed into something new, but they did not care. No species had ever risen from nothing, no primitive civilization had ever defied the natural order. The Council was eternal, and humanity was a passing flicker of light, soon to fade. But in the dark void of space, something was changing, something was growing beneath the surface of Mars, in the hidden shipyards of Europa, in the deep space stations orbiting Jupiter. Humanity's creation was nearing completion. The first true warship, the first testament to what could be built from discarded fragments of alien technology. It was unlike anything ever seen before. Its hull was a patchwork of metals salvaged from forgotten battlefields, fused with human ingenuity, reinforced to withstand punishment beyond calculation. Its engines whispered with stolen secrets, moving with speed and precision. No Council vessel could match. Its shields absorbed energy from enemy fire, repurposing it into a weapon of its own. Its cannons pulsed with power designed not for combat, but for obliteration. When the prototype was complete, there was only one test that mattered. The humans called it the Ghost Trial. In the farthest reaches of the system, beyond the watchful eyes of the Council, a lone warship was deployed. Its mission was simple: vanish, infiltrate a restricted Council-controlled sector, and return without being detected. If it succeeded, humanity would know they had built something greater than anyone had imagined. If it failed, they would be hunted before they were ready. The ship slipped into the darkness, its engines running on minimum power, cloaking itself within the radiation of nearby cosmic storms. Its hull absorbed scanning pulses, its systems bypassed Council security grids. For 3 days it drifted unseen, unheard, unnoticed, deep within the heart of enemy territory. Then the moment came. A Council patrol fleet loomed in the distance, 4 destroyers heavily armed, moving in formation. They were searching for pirate activity, oblivious to the silent predator in their midst. The human warship watched, studied, analyzed every movement, every weakness. Then, without warning, it attacked. In less than 5 seconds, the first Council destroyer was reduced to burning wreckage. Its shields had never registered an attack. Its crew had never screamed. A human ship moved like a phantom, slipping between their formations. Its weapons unleashed beams of energy refined from discarded Council cannons. The second ship fell before it could even return fire. The third ship tried to escape, but the human warship was too fast, too precise. The fourth ship sent a distress signal screaming into the void. The human vessel did not stop. It approached the wreckage, scanned the burning debris, recorded every detail of the battle. Then it vanished, slipping back into the shadows, undetected, untraceable. When it returned to human space, the data was transmitted to every hidden base, every secret facility. The message was clear: humanity had not only built a weapon, it had built a nightmare, a ghost in the void, a force unlike anything the galaxy had ever faced. The Council still believed humanity was weak, still believed they were nothing but scavengers. But soon they would learn the truth. Soon they would see what had been created from the very junk they had so carelessly discarded. Soon they would realize they had not given humanity scrap. They had given them the key to their own destruction. The Council sat in their grand chambers, surrounded by towering pillars of shimmering light, their voices cold, their expressions unreadable. The destruction of a patrol fleet was a minor incident, an inconvenience at best. The official report stated it was likely the work of a rogue pirate faction or a malfunction in the ship's reactor cores. After all, humanity was weak, humanity was primitive. They could not possibly be responsible for such an attack. But whispers spread faster than the Council could silence them. Rumors of something moving in the void, something deadly precise and unstoppable. Ship captains spoke of ghost signals appearing on their scanners, then vanishing without a trace. Colonies along the outskirts reported strange energy signatures, unlike anything in the Council database. The pattern was undeniable. Something had changed, and at the center of it all was humanity. Deep within the hidden shipyards of Mars, the truth was far more terrifying than the Council imagined. Humanity had not simply built a warship, they had built an entire fleet from the scraps the Council had thrown at them. Each vessel an amalgamation of salvaged alien technology fused with human ingenuity, faster, more durable, more powerful than anything the galaxy had ever seen. In silence, they moved through space, testing their weapons, perfecting their tactics, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. That moment came when the pirates struck again. Another raid, another attempt to plunder what they believed was an easy target, a small human colony on the edge of known space, a settlement with no defenses, no warships, no way to fight back, or so they thought. The pirates descended from the darkness, eager to burn and take what they pleased. But the moment they crossed into human territory, the stars themselves came alive. Sensors screamed, alarms blared, the void filled with ships materializing from nowhere. Human warships, sleek, deadly, moving like shadows, their weapons already primed before the first pirate could react. Beams of energy carved through their hulls, shields, overloaded engines, ruptured ships exploded in brilliant fireballs. One after another, the pirate fleet shattered before they could even send a distress signal. It was not a battle, it was a slaughter. The human admiral watched from the bridge of the flagship, his expression calm, his voice steady. When the last pirate ship was destroyed, he turned to his crew and gave a single command: transmit the footage to the Council, let them see, let them understand. Within hours, the entire galaxy had witnessed the impossible. A species the Council had deemed irrelevant had. Panic spread through the Galactic Council as the whispers turned into undeniable truth. Patrol fleets had vanished, colonies raided not by pirates, but by an enemy moving too fast, too precise, too advanced to be anything less than a military force. Yet no Council intelligence agency could confirm who was behind the attacks. No known species had ships with such power. No empire had technology that could erase entire fleets before distress calls could even be sent. It was as if the enemy did not exist, as if the darkness itself had turned against them. But deep within the highest levels of the Council, some knew the truth, some had seen the reports, some had watched the intercepted footage, grainy, distorted, but unmistakable human ships, not the clunky, slow vessels the Council had once mocked, but sleek, efficient, and deadly, built from the very scraps they had thrown away. moving with a grace no human vessel should possess firing weapons. No human should have been able to construct the realization struck like a thunderbolt. Humanity had not just survived, they had evolved. A secret meeting was called behind closed doors. Leaders of the most powerful council races gathered in a dimly lit chamber. Their voices hushed their fear, barely concealed. A proposal was simple: humanity must be stopped before they grew too powerful, before their rise could no longer be contained. They would send a fleet, not a warning, not an ultimatum, but total annihilation. Humanity would not be allowed to threaten the balance of power. Across the galaxy, ships began to move: dreadnoughts, carriers, battle cruisers, thousands of warships, forming the largest armada the Council had ever assembled. They would descend upon human space like an unstoppable storm, erase every colony, every station, every trace of their existence, before they could become a true danger. Their mistake had been giving humanity the scraps. They would not make the same mistake again. But the humans were not blind. They had eyes in the void, sensors hidden in asteroids, listening posts disguised as abandoned satellites. They saw the fleet gathering. They intercepted encrypted transmissions. And for the first time, the leaders of humanity knew there would be no peace, no negotiation, no mercy. The Council had decided humanity would not be allowed to rise. So humanity made a decision of their own. They would not wait, they would not beg, they would not sit idly by while their doom approached. The time for secrecy was over. The time for hiding had passed. Humanity had built its warships in the shadows, had forged its superweapons in silence. But now the galaxy would see them. Now they would understand what had been created from the very scraps meant to humiliate them. The order was given. Every hidden shipyard activated, every warship deployed. A fleet of nightmares rose from the darkness. Warships unlike anything the Council had ever seen, hulls forged from alien alloys, stolen and improved weapons that pulsed with energy beyond imagination, engines that defied every known law of physics. They did not match Council designs. They did not follow any known battle doctrine. There was something new, something terrifying. And at the head of this fleet, the first of the dreadnoughts, the pinnacle of human engineering, its hull black as the void, its weapons burning with stolen fire, its name whispered across every command center, every war room, a single name carried across the stars like a death knell. Revenant, the ghost of humanity's vengeance, the harbinger of the war to come. Humanity would not wait for destruction. Humanity would strike first. The Council fleet moved with precision, thousands of warships crossing the void, an unstoppable force primed for annihilation. They had crushed rebellions before, shattered empires before, exterminated species before. Humanity was no different, a minor annoyance to be swept aside before they could grow into a true threat. Their admirals were confident, their generals assured of victory. But none of them truly understood what they were about to face. None of them had imagined that the so-called scavenger species had done the impossible. Humanity did not wait for the battle to come to them. They struck first. Without warning, the darkness erupted with fire. Ships cloaking from nothingness, warships forged from scavenged ruins, but moving like predators, every hull a patchwork of stolen technology, every weapon a fusion of human ingenuity and alien power. The Council fleet had never seen ships like these, had never faced weapons like these, and in that moment of hesitation the slaughter began. The first wave of human warships cut through the Council formation like blades of fire. Plasma beams streaked across the void, tearing through shields designed to withstand conventional weapons. But these were not conventional weapons. Energy absorbed from enemy fire was redirected, converted, turned into destruction. Council dreadnoughts detonated before they could return fire. Battle cruisers shattered as their systems overloaded, their cores ruptured. And then the Revenant arrived. It emerged from the abyss, a dreadnought unlike anything ever built, its hull black as night, its silhouette monstrous, its engines whispering with stolen power, its weapons pulsing with the energy of a dying star. The Council ships turned their weapons upon it, unleashed everything they had. But the Revenant did not fall. Its shields absorbed their fury, its hull remained unbroken, and then it fired. A single beam cut through space, carving a path of devastation. A Council flagship split in half, a supercarrier reduced to nothing but molten wreckage. Panics spread through the Council fleet. They had prepared for a war of extermination. But this was not a war, this was a massacre. Ships broke formation, tried to retreat, but there was no escape. Human warships moved with precision, herding them into a killing field. Fighters swarmed like locusts, tearing through escape pods. Bombers struck with impunity, overwhelming dreadnought defenses. The Council admirals screamed for reinforcements, for orders for salvation, but there was none. The battle lasted minutes. What remained of the Council fleet burned wreckage, drifting in the void. Thousands of warships turned to nothing more than debris and then silence. A message was sent to every Council world, to every admiral, general, and politician who had once looked down on humanity. It was a simple broadcast, no threats, no demands, only the truth. You gave us scrap, we built the future. You sent an armada, we sent ghosts. You wanted our extinction, now you will see our rise. Humanity had not just won a battle, they had changed the fate of the galaxy forever. The ruins of the Council fleet drifted through space, burning wreckage, silent echoes of a battle that had lasted mere minutes. The most powerful armada the galaxy had ever assembled, reduced to debris by the very species they had dismissed as weak. The Council had expected victory, had been certain of it, but now the truth was undeniable. Humanity had surpassed them. Humanity had evolved. Humanity had become something new, something terrifying. Across the galaxy, the news spread faster than the Council could contain it. Whispers turned to messages, messages turned to fear. Species that had once bowed to the Council's rule began to question their loyalty. Empires that had once feared retaliation began to wonder if humanity could offer something the Council never had: true power, true protection. The balance of the galaxy had shifted, and the Council was no longer at the top. But humanity did not celebrate, they did not revel in their victory. They prepared for what came next. They knew the Council would not surrender so easily, knew that desperation would push them to acts of madness. In hidden chambers, in fortified war rooms, the surviving Council leaders gathered, rage burning in their eyes, humiliation driving their every word. The humans have become a plague, they must be eradicated, no matter the cost. And so they enacted their final plan. In the depths of their most secret facilities, the Council had stored weapons of last resort, not fleets, not armies, but extinction devices, weapons too terrible to ever be used, forbidden technologies capable of erasing entire planets. They had kept them hidden for centuries, fearing what would happen if such power was unleashed. But now they no longer cared. The humans had to be wiped from existence before they became unstoppable, before their rise became permanent. Across Council space, hidden bases came to life. Forbidden vaults opened, ancient machines activated, entire planets converted into weapons designed for one purpose: total annihilation of Earth. And every colony humanity had ever built, fleets were no longer enough. Diplomacy was meaningless. This was the endgame, the final war. Either humanity would fall or the galaxy would burn with them. But humanity was already watching, already listening. Their spies embedded within Council communications, their AI intercepting encrypted orders before they could be acted upon. And when they saw what the Council planned, there was no hesitation, no debate. Humanity had always been underestimated, always been seen as lesser. And now they had a choice: wait for destruction or strike first and end this war before it could begin. The choice was made in an instant. The Revenant and its fleet vanished into the void, not to defend, not to wait, but to attack before the Council could unleash their doomsday. Humanity would bring the war to their doorstep. They had taken scrap and built weapons. They had taken weakness and forged strength. And now they would take war and reshape the fate of the entire galaxy. For the first time in history, it was not the Council deciding the future of the stars, it was humanity. And they had no intention of showing mercy. Deep within the heart of Council space, in the most fortified system in the galaxy, the war machines of annihilation began to power up, each one a world killer, a weapon so devastating that its mere activation was considered an act of madness. Entire planets had been converted into doomsday stations, their cores burning with unstable energy, their launch systems locked on human colonies on Earth itself. The Council had abandoned all restraint. There was no war, there was no surrender, only total destruction. But before the countdown could complete, before the galaxy could witness the erasure of an entire species, the darkness moved. The Revenant and its fleet emerged from the void like specters of vengeance, slipping past defense grids too primitive to detect them, bypassing security measures designed for lesser enemies. One by one, Council outposts fell without warning. Orbital stations went silent. Command ships vanished before they could sound the alarm. Humanity did not fight for territory, did not fight for glory. They fought for survival, and in the name of survival they became executioners. The first Doomsday Station never fired its weapon before its core was breached, before its shields collapsed, before its own energy consumed it in a silent explosion. The second station tried to retaliate, unleashing a wave of automated defense drones, but human warships moved faster, weapons striking with impossible accuracy, cutting through drones as if they were made of paper. Human fighters weaved through enemy fire, striking at the heart of the installation, leaving nothing but smoldering debris. Panic spread across the Council ranks. They had believed themselves untouchable, had thought their last resort was unassailable, but humanity had infiltrated their most secure systems, had warped through their defenses like ghosts in the dark. For every Doomsday Station destroyed, another human warship appeared, another facility was wiped from existence. Entire fleets scrambled to respond, but found themselves chasing shadows, firing at empty space as their own ships were torn apart from within. Then came the final blow. The Council homeworld, the seat of power for 1,000 years, the core of the empire that had ruled the galaxy without challenge for centuries, its skies filled with warships, its defenses impenetrable. No species had ever breached its perimeter, no enemy had ever dared approach its orbit. Yet now, above the shining cities, above the towers of control, the Revenant arrived. Its message was not spoken, was not transmitted, was not debated. The Council had already made their choice, had already chosen extermination over surrender, had already cast the die. Humanity would not offer them another chance. The first shot came from the Revenant itself, a lance of energy that cut through the Council's planetary shield as if it were nothing. One moment, an impenetrable wall, the next a cascade of shattered light. Human warships descended from the blackness, striking key installations, dismantling the last remnants of the Council's power in precision attacks. Planetary cannons fell, orbital stations were silenced, military command centers reduced to craters within minutes. The great Council homeworld, once the unchallenged heart of the galaxy, lay at humanity's mercy. But humanity did not destroy it, did not erase it as the Council had planned to erase Earth. Instead, they broadcast a single message across every system, across every world, across every race that had once feared the Council's rule. The old order is dead. The age of the Council is over. The galaxy belongs to those who build, not those who destroy. Humanity had not just won a war, they had rewritten the fate of the stars. The galaxy was forever changed. The old order had crumbled in the wake of humanity's rise. Once the Council ruled all with an iron fist, its fleets spreading across the stars, its political power suffocating every race beneath its rule. But now there was only silence. Where once there had been fear, only uncertainty. Where once there had been control. Humanity stood at the center of a new era. A new power had risen, not through conquest or subjugation, but through innovation and defiance. Where the Council had seen scraps, humanity had seen opportunity, and from that opportunity they had forged a force that could not be stopped. The galaxy now belonged to those who were willing to rebuild from nothing, to rise from the ashes of destruction. But humanity did not act as conquerors. They did not seek to enslave or dominate. Instead, they extended an olive branch to those who had once served the Council. The other races of the galaxy saw their devastation and knew it was not an empty threat. Humanity's warships still patrolled the stars, still stood as the last line of defense against any who would dare challenge their new order. But unlike the Council, humanity did not demand servitude or submission. They offered protection, they offered peace. In exchange for cooperation, they offered an alliance. Many races took the offer. War-torn empires sought refuge under humanity's banner. Former Council allies turned their weapons away and instead worked together with the humans to rebuild a galaxy that had long been torn apart by greed and war. And though some resisted and some fought back, they were quickly crushed beneath the might of humanity's creations. For humanity had learned the art of war, but had not forgotten the importance of rebuilding and forging a future that could never again be controlled by an oppressive few. The Revenant became the symbol of this new galaxy, a reminder of what humanity had achieved, and what they could accomplish together as one united force. It was no longer just a warship, it was a harbinger of hope, a beacon to all who believed that they could rise from the shadows of their past and build something greater. Earth itself stood as a testament to humanity's journey from the brink of destruction to the pinnacle of power, where once it was a planet struggling to survive under the weight of cosmic indifference, it had become the heart of a new galactic order. And with it came the realization that the true strength of a species lay not in their technology or their weapons, but in their ability to adapt, to rise above their circumstances, to build something from nothing, to create a future out of what others saw as scraps. Humanity had shown the galaxy that the true power of a species was not determined by the size of their fleets or the reach of their empire, but by their will to survive, their capacity to learn and grow and adapt to any challenge the universe could throw at them. And as the new order took hold, a single truth became clear: no one would ever underestimate humanity again.